Greetings from our channel again. For fans of the hit television program Roseanne, the name Sara Gilbert conjures up a wave of nostalgia. Sara has experienced and conquered many personal challenges since her days as Darlene Conner-Healy, all of which have surely influenced who she is today. Dealing with concerns of identity, relationships, and notoriety has not been easy for her. Her story is filled with the complex realities of beauty, frailty, and strength. On January 29, 1975, Sara Gilbert, real name Sarah Rebecca Abels, was born in Bright Santa Monica, California. Her parents are Barbara Cowan and Harold Abels, both of whom are Jewish. Her maternal grandfather was the famous Harry Crane, the man behind The Honeymooners, and Julia Crane was a ballerina who was formerly known as Miss Brooklyn. In 1984, following her first spouse, Paul, she adopted her mother's maiden name, Gilbert. Sara's family is well represented in Hollywood. Her older half-brother is named Joseph, whereas her older half-sister is Patrice. Two older adopted siblings, Melissa and Jonathan Gilbert, lived in a modest home on the Prairie Stars. Her mother Barbara, who had previously married her father Paul, adopted Jonathan and Melissa while she was married to actor Jonathan. Paul passed away in 1975 due to a brain hemorrhage. Shortly after Paul's passing, her parents, Harold and Barbara, filed for a dissolution of their marriage. In 1984, Sara changed her last name from Abelize to Gilbert in order to pursue her dream of becoming an actress. Her mother, Barbara Crane, was a longtime producer and talent manager in the entertainment business. As a bright and active child, Sara wanted to be like her older half-siblings since she was a competitive person. Since she witnessed her siblings' incredible possessions during the filming of Little House on the Prairie, she had aspired to become an actress. After making appearances in television movies and even a Kool-Aid commercial, she rose to fame at the young age of 13. She portrayed the clever middle child, Darlene Conner, on Roseanne. The program followed Darlene's transformation from a creative and politically engaged preteen to a politically engaged teenager. During the 9 years that the show ran, from 1988 to 1997, Sara was a regular cast member. She was so important to the system as a whole that she even wrote the narrative for an episode in the 4th season called Don't Make Me Over. Her insightful comments on Roseanne forced the producers to make some significant changes to the show's plot and timetable. In addition to filming Darlene's scenes in New York rather than Hollywood, she was able to pursue her studies at Yale while still performing on the show. Because of her funny and accurate depiction of her character's adolescent life, she received 3 Young Artist Awards between 1991 and 1993 and was nominated for 2 Emmys for Best Supporting Actress in 1993 and 1994. Sara wasn't just confined to television. She also succeeded in breaking into the movie business, co-starring with Drew Barrymore in 2 films. Their 1992 collaboration was Poison Ivy, and their 2001 reunion was Riding in Cars with Boys. She also had an appearance in Light It Up in 1999. Her father was having financial difficulties, although she had been experiencing great success. He was a prosperous lawyer before he reached his lowest point. This is because of his divorce from her mother in 1983. In the beginning, Sara helped him out when he needed money. Before the demand began, their relationship was already fragile. I was 18 or 19 years old and making more money than any teenager should have been making at that time, she recalled. His role as my father was all I wanted. She decided to cut off her financial support to her father after a while, but she eventually understood how tough it must have been for him to even ask. It is best to give to those you care about, especially your family. After Harold fell unwell in his latter years, Sara took over as his main caretaker and remained so until he passed away. After turning him down for financial aid when he really needed it, she made an effort to make amends. Sara kept making waves in Hollywood when Roseanne ended, landing supporting roles in films including $30, also known as $30 in High Fidelity, also known as $30 as part of The Boy's Life feature. She went so far as to attempt directing, developing her 1998 short film Persona non grata. During the 2000 Williamstown Theater Festival in Massachusetts, she made her stage debut in a production of Hot L Baltimore. Among Sara's television appearances are 24 with The Simpsons, Will Grace, Law, Order, Private Practice, and Special Victims Unit. Sara resumed her television career in 2004 after finishing school. She was a regular on the hit hospital drama ER for many seasons, playing the character of sassy medical student Jane Figler. Through seasons 11 and 13, she made guest appearances. She had an appearance on the WB network comedy Twins in 2005. However, the gig didn't last long because the show was cancelled after only 1 season due to a network merger. As Fern Welch, she made occasional appearances on the CBS comedy The Class. The Big Bang Theory featured her as Leslie Winkle from 2007 to 2010. Is Leonard Hofstadter's intelligent sidekick, played by Johnny Galecki. Collaborating with Galecki was nothing new for her. He played the role of her on-screen romantic interest in Roseanne, her debut television series. It just so happened that they were now being considered for a romantic role on The Big Bang Theory. Thanks to Sara's hard work and commitment, her role on The Big Bang Theory was strengthened in Season 2. She had transformed into the romantic interest of Galecki's and Howard Wolowitz's characters. Up until 2009, this went on. The show's writers began to struggle to incorporate her into the plot about this time. Consequently, Sara's standing moved from that of a regular cast member to that of an occasional guest star. Bernadette Rostenkowski and Amy Farrah Fowler became more prominent, and her character Leslie Winkle was pushed to the background. The fact that she was free to concentrate on other endeavors, such as becoming the show's co-host and creative force, was a fortunate turn of events. A hit podcast that premiered on October 18, 2010. In 2016, she was honored with a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Entertainment Talk Show for her exceptional performance on the show, which she co-created and produced. After serving as a co-host for 3 years, Sara stepped down. Subsequently, she returned to the job of executive producer for the Roseanne revival. The 8 episodes were picked up by ABC, and their debut was on March 27, 2018. There was a lot of positive anticipation for the show. Everyone from viewers to critics was gushing over the show. This allowed them to settle on a second season. However, celebrations were abruptly cut short on May 29, 2018, when an online troll caused controversy by spreading false information about former Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett. The drama was so great that ABC decided to cancel the program after only 1 season. Sara stated categorically that the show and herself were uninvolved in the online controversy. However, the decision that had already been reached was unaffected by that disclosure. The show's own stability had been under question for some time. Even Roseanne herself had dared to quit, though rumor has it that this happened practically every year on set. The decision to halt manufacturing was seriously examined by the executives. Should Dan Connor's participation in the program be discontinued? Nevertheless, ABC wasted no time in transforming the Roseanne scandal into a fresh opportunity following the show's cancellation. They officially announced the spin-off series The Connors on June 21, 2018. With the exception of a handful of characters, this program would include the same beloved Roseanne cast. Sara served as both an executive producer and an actress in the series, which debuted in October 2018. By combining Sara's TV company with Werner Entertainment, she and Tom Werner, a seasoned producer, formed the formidable Sara plus Tom in 2019. They worked together professionally for 30 years. Sara had to leave her position as co-host of The Talk after 9 seasons due to the debut of this cooperation, which was a byproduct of their successful connection with the Connors. Upon the start of season 10 in the fall, Marie Osmond took her spot on the CBS daytime talk show. Sara served as an executive producer for both The Connors and a new Pittsburgh-based show called The Prey Deeps. Produced by Sony Pictures Television and Amazon Studios, this 8-part series aired for 30 minutes each. Beyond her work on TV, the multi-talented diva had a busy creative life. Sara sought satisfaction in her personal connections in addition to her professional endeavors. While she was a teenager, she had a love relationship with Johnny Galecki, who co-starred with her on Roseanne and then on The Big Bang Theory. She came to terms with the fact that she was bisexual during this time. Coming clean to the public was a difficult process for her. She came clean about her decision to go for it, despite being in a relationship with someone 18 years her senior. She recalled mentioning that she had dated Johnny Galecki while she was a youngster. He played the role of my spouse and lover on Roseanne. Because he was so cute, I became completely smitten with him. When we started dating, he'd come to visit and we'd kiss. But then I'd feel down. Even after this came to light, she and Galecki maintained their friendship. Ali Alder, a television producer, became Sara's boyfriend in 2001. They welcomed their first child, a daughter named Sawyer Jane, to Sara in August 2007, and their second child, a son named Levi Hank, to Alder in October 2004. Regrettably, she and Alder broke up. Even though Sara doesn't know why her relationship ended, she was sad to see it go. She had gone into profound philosophical contemplation after the breakup. The validity of marriage is being called into question, she said. Although I have never tied the knot, I did have a committed relationship. I'm finding it difficult because our relationship has ended. How do these couples manage to keep going strong into their 70s? In what ways is it prolonged? My hope is that I can also believe it. For a long time, Sara remained covert about her sexuality since she avoided talking about it in public. When July 2010 rolled around, she made a huge move just before her chat show, The Chat, premiered. She came out as a lesbian. Following the unexpected revelation, Sara expressed her fear of being publicly or on the show exposed about her sexuality. I put on an appearance of self-assurance or make light of the situation, but deep down I can't help but think, what is this doing to my career? Coming to terms with her sexuality has been a challenging road for Sara. The actress's former lover and Roseanne co-star Galecki was essential in helping her accept herself when she was younger and less outspoken about her identity. Sara had buried this aspect of her personality for a long time because she was worried it would hurt her acting career. The unfaltering love and acceptance from her ex-boyfriend Galecki, though, made it possible for her to come to terms with her sexuality. Sara, who was very upset, related how Johnny had been there for her throughout her ordeal. When I needed him, he was there for me more than a straight male co-star would have been. My joy and gratitude for my life and who I am are genuine feelings, she went on to say. For example, I kept telling myself, oh my, now I have to tell everyone long after I got engaged. A heartwarming moment was also revealed by her when she mentioned that she had warned Galecki about talking about Tiz on the talk. As a token of his undying love and support, he even offered to be on the show and hold her hand as she did it. These two are obviously very supportive of one another. Frequently posting sweet nostalgia images on many social media platforms, their friendship shines through in every photo, whether it's a promotional still from Roseanne's first season or a contemporary selfie. Sara Gilbert has a genuine heart, and her postings like this one have likely prevented me from going completely bonkers in this crazy town of ours. Hey there, Soap, I adore you. Their souls are clearly intertwined. Although the romance between Galecki and Sara as teenagers was brief, their friendship that has lasted for decades is truly admirable. In 2018, Sara gave the finest account of their friendship when she talked about how they were together off-screen as well as on. We simply have an undeniable chemistry. It's incredibly rare some individuals share it with you while others don't, and we count ourselves incredibly lucky to have it. As far as I'm concerned, he's practically family. Linda Perry became her soulmate after she broke up with her former lover. Sara confided in her fellow talk panelists on one episode about how paparazzi spotted the couple out for a stroll over the weekend, exposing their growing connection with the former four non-blondes front woman. I went out, the paparazzi followed, and my new romance became a national sensation overnight. Seeing it so pervasively so quickly caught me unaware as it appeared strange, and they tied the knot on March 30, 2014, after their engagement was announced in the spring of 2013. The birth of their son, Rhodes Emilio Gilbert Perry, on a special day in February 2015 brought their love story to a new level. Even though Sara and Adler first made it seem like their breakup was consensual. Sara allegedly caught her long-term partner Adler entirely unaware when she dumped him for Perry, according to the rumors. Allison felt the final blow when Sara and Linda became engaged, according to a source. Nobody knows for sure why Sara and Adler broke up. Sara has always made an effort to keep her personal life out of the spotlight despite her prominent public persona and prosperous profession. Had their husbands' names included in the CBS show press release, Gilbert chose to leave out any mention of her own life. Her reasons for making this choice had been clearly articulated by her. I didn't feel the need to share this information in a CBS press release, however, since this is a talk show, I will undoubtedly share more personal details about my life. Maybe she didn't feel comfortable sharing her story in a formal press release because of its impersonal tone. It came across as impersonal. And I preferred to come in person and discuss all that stuff with you, she said. Her post-talk statement further emphasizes her desire for isolation, saying, I found myself unable to dedicate the time I wanted to my 3 children or to prioritize self-care. She says it's comforting to know that she doesn't have to discuss any personal matters in her life anymore, even though it might be difficult to appear as a guest on a lighthearted talk show. Nevertheless, I want to let go of the notion that I used my appearance on the show as a way to challenge my spiritual and intellectual limits. I do feel that was my objective. Sara shows great regard for her personal space and boundaries in the way she shares personal details about her life. She kept any private to show that people can and should have control over the stories told about their own lives, especially in this age when the lives of celebrities are. Not only did Sara crave for solitude, but her body was also showing the effects of the various professional responsibilities she had held for so long. She stopped exercising altogether after the birth of her 3rd kid. Both physically and mentally, she was exhausted from the rigorous routine. Something had to give, she realized. She took a straightforward step toward regaining her health. I wanted to integrate exercise into my regimen to regain both the physical and emotional benefits, she explained. On rare occasions, she would even find time for a full hour of yoga. Her body and mind were both helped by these deliberate motions. She finally stopped putting her health on the back burner. She rediscovers the powerful impact of persistent self-care by dedicating just 15 minutes a day. The results of her perseverance and dedication have been realized. Sara and Perry eventually chose to split up, and 5 years later Sara filed for a formal separation from Linda. She gave August 13, 2019 as the date of separation and said that they parted due to irreconcilable differences. Due to the inclement weather, the once inseparable couple was officially divorced by December 27, 2019. Linda discussed Sara's connection at the 2020 Art of Elysium Gala at the Hollywood Palladium in January. Her advice was to take life as it comes and don't sweat the small stuff, along with Sara. I am still experiencing an amazing journey. Her presence touches my heart. Her beauty is irresistible. This being said, the pair finally formalized their divorce on October 15, 2021, which was 2 years after they separated. They were ordered to co-parent their son after the two famous people were granted joint legal custody of him. Work was Sara's only focus. Luckily for Sara, her immensely popular program, The Conners, was airing again during this time. I went through 3 months of treatment, but Sara did mention her emotional state. With the help of ketamine, I was able to flush it all out. Every emotion I had, every tear I shed, it's all gone. Her goal is to have an authentic life, she says. What gets better is a phrase we use frequently. Plus things improve. Still, I think it's important for people to know that they're not alone if they have trouble with it. It is more akin to a procedure. Sara's candor regarding her method reveals her profound